Hi! Another awkward video from me. Sorry if the sound or the light is weird. I don't know where to film. This is just my conservatory. I didn't really want to do it in my bedroom today just because baby is trying to sleep. So probably the last little update. I don't know. Maybe for a little bit. I don't know how much recording I'll do during pre-op. But I have had my psychologist appointment and I have had my dietitian appointment. The psychologist appointment was a couple of weeks ago. Pretty much we just talked about my history with mental health, my history with food, and just making sure I've got strategies in place in order to keep my mental health good while I recover. It was mentioned that with dramatic weight loss, especially with surgery, people will often find that some people, like their friends, will have some jealousy issues, a bit of resentment. Sorry, the cat has decided to play in a box. Anyway, so some friends and family might get a little bit jealous, might get a little bit resentful, and it's just all part of it. I've been that person when I've seen other people I know have dramatic weight loss. It's kind of like, well, why me? Why can't I do that? Why can't I look like that? So if it happens, I'll understand, and I'll wait for them to be okay with me again, because I've been there and I get that. It's really hard to watch someone that you're close with lose heaps of weight and then you're stuck there feeling like, why can't I do this? Why can't I be like them? So it might not happen, but if it does, then I understand. So I'll just deal with that when it happens, if it happens. Might not, might be lucky. Same with partners. Some people find that their relationships end after getting surgery done just because they change and their bodies change. Some people get more attention from opposite sex or same sex or other people in general, and some partners find that hard to deal with. It was just explaining all of the things that may happen, may not, just things to be mindful of, making sure that I've got support networks, making sure that I understand that usually it's day 3 after surgery, people get the blues and they're kind of like, why have I done this? I feel like crap, I regret all of it. So making sure I have people to lean on and to listen to me and to let me feel frustrated and sore and upset because everything's about to change. And it's normal for people to be really regretful a few days after surgery. And the psychologist said that usually after about 2 weeks, people are kind of like, okay, this is good. I should have done this years ago. I'm so happy with it. It's hard, but it's worth it. So, especially with my history of mental health issues, it's likely that I'll get quite depressed to start with. And it's just being mindful and knowing my signs and my triggers and doing what I can to mitigate it so it doesn't get out of hand. So yeah, psychologist was pretty basic, just all the mental side of stuff. And then I saw the dietitian. Was it this week I saw the dietitian? Maybe it was last week, I don't know, I've lost track of time. Dietitian kind of went over, I did a food diary, so what I normally eat, what food is normally like in my house, what kind of cravings I have. I think the dietitian was pretty happy with what my diet is currently. I was very honest with it. There's no point in hiding the crap that I eat if I eat crap. I told her that normally I eat dark chocolate 4 squares every day, but chocolate wasn't on special, so I didn't have chocolate this week, so it's not in the food diary. But that is what I would normally have, so I told her. She thinks that I'll be fine with pre-op because we do meal prep. Food is pretty boring. We bulk cook on a Sunday night. We reheat it every night till it runs out. So eating the same thing every day doesn't really worry me. I'm quite used to it. I'm usually pretty boring about food. And that was another thing that I actually talked about with the psychologist, is that I don't particularly enjoy food. I eat because I need to eat, or I eat because it's a comfort. I eat for fuel. I don't particularly like food. I just kind of eat because I have to, or I eat because I feel like shit. It's not I love food. Nah, food's just food. So, back to the dietitian. So she thinks that I'll be fine with pre-op because I'm already quite structured with food. With pre-op, it's not as restricted as I thought it was going to be. Like, it is restrictive, but I have options. So I'll be doing OptiFast, but I can also have at least 2 cups of vegetables, if not more. Not starchy ones, so not things like potato and kumara, limit peas, limit corn, little things like that. So I don't know, heaps of salad. I can also have 100 grams of cooked protein, and if the OptiFast doesn't work, then I can do protein powders, or I can put berries in with protein powder. Like, there are things I can do. It's not as restrictive as some surgeons have it, I think. Depends on where you are in New Zealand, depends on what they expect you to do for pre-op. So I don't feel like mine's too bad, and mine's only 2 weeks. So it'll be the last diet I ever have to be on, and it's only 2 weeks, so I'll suck it up and I'll do it. Afterwards is probably, that's going to be harder, because I have to learn what full is. I have to remember to eat because I'm unlikely to actually feel hungry. I have to figure out how to sip water throughout the day. I'll be on fluids, clear fluids for 2 days, and then fluids in general for a week. So I can have things like really thin soups. They say that water normally sits really heavy, so I can have like lemon water or water drops, things like that, which make it easier for your body to actually handle, because straight water, your body is actually, it's hard for a brand new stomach to actually figure out how to deal with. So fluid stage should be okay. I think the hard part is figuring out full. What is full? Because I don't want to cause myself a whole heap of pain because I've had 1 teaspoon too much, because that is what will happen. After fluid, it is puree, and I feel like that's what I'm going to have the most trouble with. So puree has to be like the consistency of baby food. It has to be pretty mush. I think that's what I'll have the most trouble with, because I just don't really know what to make, what I'll eat. Yeah, that one I'm a little bit worried about. I have to kind of go through my paperwork and figure out what on earth I can do for puree, because I don't want to make a whole heap of puree when I'm eating like up to like 1/4 of a cup. That's so small. I don't want to make a heap of stuff that is going to go to waste, or that I'm not actually going to like and not be able to tolerate and eat. So that's for a week, and then it's soft food for a week. So food that goes into mush. So I think at that point I can have stuff like Cruskits. So it like dissolves in your mouth and goes into a mush, kind of a puree, before it actually is swallowed. So at that point it's being really mindful of lots of chewing, taking my time with meals. Meals should take between 20 to 30 minutes to eat. And I can't have water or any liquid while I eat. And I can't have any liquid and any water or liquid until half an hour after I eat. By that point I also have to try and figure out taking multivitamins, because I will be on vitamins for the rest of my life having this. And then I think it goes on to mostly normal food. I may have missed a stage. I don't remember, I need to look at my stuff. But anyway, so that was the dietitian just explaining all of that stuff. And that's pretty much it. I've been trying to make sure that I don't have food funerals. I don't want to be mourning food. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm never going to eat this again. Because what does it matter? It hasn't served me any good to start with, so why would I binge out on it now? So I'm trying to eat the things that I love, which I might not be able to tolerate again, but still doing it in a low GI as best as I can for my body kind of way. Next week is pretty much my last week of eating normal food. Next Friday I will start my pre-op diet, so I've got to kind of think about what do I want to be eating next week. To be honest, it'll probably be homemade burgers because I've been wanting homemade burgers for months, but salad veggies have not been in season. They're too expensive, so we've not had burgers. But I would probably have some burgers this week. Dunno. Not sure what I'm doing. With the gym, that's probably going to be the really difficult part with being on a pre-op, because it will be such a low calorie diet and it is majority liquid. And because I lift heavy weights for fun, that might be difficult. So what I'm thinking of doing is the days that I have training for lunch, I'll have my 100 grams of protein and my bunch of vegetables. That way I have something a bit more solid in my stomach before I do training. And then I'll just have the shake or soup or whatever for dinner instead, just to try and keep training as normally as I possibly can. I still really want to hit my 140 kg deadlift before I have surgery. So I need to keep training as hard as I can. Hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. I think that's it. Hopefully this isn't a 30-minute long video. I'm also going to count how many times I say and how many times I have to edit that out. Because I say constantly, I then have to edit it all out just so that I don't stutter and talk like a twat. Yeah. Social anxiety. I'm the queen of awkwardness. But yeah, I'm going to do an counter because I'm quite interested to see how many times in one video I say because majority of them I have to edit out because it annoys me. That's it. That's pretty much it. Maybe I'll do some updates with pre-op. We'll see how I go. I won't be studying. I'll be back to full-time mama. So it's a matter of filming, editing when I can. So we'll see.